This is the Dodgers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Dodgers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable. I can't believe we are here already. It's only game 4 and Dodgers are winning games in utterly heroic fashion. I feel like it's October. Welcome to the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. I am Pete Fox, covering sports in LA, dating back to 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. We appreciate you allowing us to be your source for your team every day. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by our friends over at Game Time, where you can get fantastic tickets at a great deal. You also get a opportunity to see a view from your seat. Give them a shot if you're looking to get a good deal on tickets. It is gametime.com. Well, this one, again, tight, thrilling, back and forth. Yamamoto looked unhittable, but did make a couple of mistakes and gave up 2 home runs. So the Tigers were, I don't want to say cruising, but they had a pretty comfortable lead there for a fair amount of this game. He struck out 10 before being pulled in the 5th inning. Sinker, splitter, 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 4-seam splitter, splitter, splitter to account for the 10 Ks. And on the other side of things, Jack Flaherty was moving along, cruising fairly easy, had a no-hitter going into the 4th inning. So Dodgers were kind of in a hole. And I was like, with the offense the Dodgers have, I'm not really sure that we should be terribly worried at any point in time of a game when they're down, right? So they kept clawing away, scratching away. And then Freddie Freeman, his first hit of the season, a 2-run home run opposite field to tie the game. So now we're at 2-2 for a while, just kind of cruising along, 2-2. And guess who steps up? Mookie Betts, 3-2 on his first jack of the season. So I'm like, okay, that's what we're looking for. That's what we need. And, the Tigers, not willing to go away quietly, claw their way back into it with a run in the 8th, make it the 9th to tie the game at 3. So you're like, oh, here we go again into extra innings. Top of the 10th, the Tigers get 2 and take a 5-3 lead. And then the Dodgers have a fantastic bottom of the 10th inning. Conforto, who made a heroic play there in left field, diving for the ball, trying to secure that inning. If he makes that catch, they get out of that 10th inning frame, tied at 3, but he does not, and they score twice. So he comes up to lead off the bottom of the 10th with an RBI double. Then Will Smith with an RBI single, Shohei Ohtani a single, and Mookie Betts does his thing one more time, launches one into the left field pavilion. So I think this one is a no-brainer.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game,
Mr. Mookie Betts, still trying to put on weight after getting sick there in Japan. Did I hear that he was down to like 135 or something? He's comfortable at 175. I don't think he's quite back to 175. They spent time today talking about the swing speed being down at 68. Normally it's 75 miles an hour for him, and he's not quite there. They said he's close, 72 miles an hour, probably what he needed to launch that ball into left field. So yes, the player of the game on offense, Mookie Betts, but some honorable mention for Tommy Edmond, without a doubt. I'm not sure what this Mixilphilix brings it up. Fantastic inning there for Tommy Edmond in the 9th inning. Huge play, followed by another huge play, ranging to his right. He was on the third base side of second base, backhanding a ball, firing across to Freddie Freeman for the second out of the inning, and then makes the cutoff play from Teoscar in right field to get Manny Margot at the plate. And that one was reviewed, of course, and overturned. They originally called Margot safe at home. And I was like, that is a tough call. And, kudos to the umpire there for ultimately they overturned the play. But if they hadn't, I don't think anybody would have argued that play. The umpire, I don't know how you see that play with the naked eye, because, and I couldn't believe that Joe and Oral missed this on the replay. We saw it so many different times from so many different angles, including 2 angles at the same time, where Austin Barnes tags Margot is not on the foot as his foot is flailing through the air. He nicked his hip area on his pant. Nobody ever mentioned that, but that's where he got him, and that's why it was overturned. So, I mean, it is a bang, bang, absolutely lucky play, but it was huge to have that run there. And, for me, I mean, there's how many turning points are there in this game? Many, many, many turning points. But I think that one is clutch.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Of course, the turning point could be the bottom of the 10th when Conforto got the double to score the runner placed at third base and get the Dodgers to within 1. That could have been the turning point, because that created momentum and energy for the Dodgers, and they just rolled from there. Will Smith, the pinch hitter, with the single, Ohtani a single, and then Mookie with the 3-run walk-off. Yeah, that's a big turning point. But that play, you could say the 2 runs from the Manny Margot and that double for the Tigers in the top of the 10th could have been the turning point. Down 2 in extra innings in Major League Baseball, it's hard to come back from that in this day and age. But for me, that turning point was when Tommy Edmond threw out Manny Margot at the plate, because if the Dodgers go into that 10th inning down a run, they have a different mindset than they did going in tied at 3 like it was. So to me, like, again, many turning points, but that was a huge one for the Dodgers there, who win this one 8-5 when it's all said and done, and stay undefeated 4-0, coming back in this game twice. They came back last night to win. The Dodgers are, without a doubt, the comeback kids thus far for this Major League Baseball season. And the excitement is really just overwhelming, I think, as they just continue to roll and continue to put up fantastic numbers. So we'll get into some of the details of that, and we'll even, spend a minute or two kind of pointing out some of the guys that are in need of a little rhythm and momentum and finding some energy to get this season going, like Max Muncy, who is not off to a good start. But when you are on this team, it can easily be swept under the rug, and it is not a huge big deal. So the Dodgers win this one 8-5 to stay undefeated. And we'll also get into Yamamoto's performance a little bit more as well. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the new home of the Locked On Dodgers postcast. We're going 15 to 17 minutes these days. And if you need more Dodgers, as I'm sure most of you do, you can check out Jeff and Vince with the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast right here on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. We'll take the break and come back. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by Prize Picks. Baseball season is in full swing, and there's no better way to get in on the action than with Prize Picks, the best place for daily fantasy sports. With Prize Picks, you pick more or less on at least 2 players and their stat projections. Of course, they have to be from 2 different teams. You can't pick Dodgers all day long. You got to pick somebody from another team as well. And if you're right, you can win up to 1,000 times your cash, whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, first inning runs. Prize Picks keeps everything exciting. Download the app today and use the code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's Locked On MLB for $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Oh, damn it. I also clicked out of the other spot. Reed, give me 1 second and I'll get it back here because got to get Game Time in there as they're the title sponsor for today. And I am a big fan of the Game Time app. When it comes to looking for tickets, people all the time, because I work in this industry, are like, hey, can you give me free tickets to the Dodgers? And my answer is always, not anymore. I used to be able to every now and then when I worked at ESPN, but not anymore. No connections like that these days. So I always recommend Game Time to people. And I tell them little secrets like, find a game in the middle of the week against a lesser opponent, and any sport, not just baseball, football, basketball, hockey, it's going to save you money. For example, this was surprising to me, but as the Dodgers get ready to host the Braves on April Fool's Day, there is tickets as low as $42 to watch the Dodgers and Braves at the Ravine. So there's nothing better than catching MLB games live, the crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, and the smell of the ballpark food. And if you're looking to go to a game last minute, get the Game Time app and start saving money. You can find great deals on Game Time. They have picks that makes finding deals effortless. They also have views from the seat, which is a big feature that I'm a big fan of, because you can look and see exactly where you're sitting, because sometimes one section over is not as bad as you might think, and it can save you a lot of money. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code Locked On MLB, LOCKEDON MLB for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. All right, Dodgers get a win in this one, coming from behind once again to beat the Detroit Tigers, who had a fantastic performance from Jack Flaherty. When it was all said and done, though, he came away giving up 2 earned runs on 3 hits, but he went 4 innings without a hit, 5 2/3, does not suffer the loss. Brisky does, obviously, because they went into extras there. But Flaherty had 5 Ks and looked really good as he, for whatever reason, I guess they didn't give him his ring today. I thought he would be getting his ring. The Dodgers got their rings today, but Flaherty, for whatever reason, because he's not a Dodger, I'm guessing, will get his tomorrow. As for, again, Yamamoto, 5 innings, 2 runs on 5 hits, gave up 2 walks and struck out 10, 90% of which were on the splitter. He threw 1 sinker for a strikeout pitch, 1 4-seamer. So the other 8 Ks came on the splitter, which was fairly devastating. But the 2 home runs that he surrendered were, one of them was the home run to Dingler in the second, came on a splitter that looked like a fastball or even a changeup that didn't do much of anything. And then the Gleyber Torres home run on a sinker that was also rather lifeless, down and in, and fairly easy pitch for Torres to rip down the line there for the home run. So as dazzling as that performance was for Yamamoto, which included 18 swings and misses, a career high for him with the 10 Ks, he did give up 2 home runs and comes away with no decision, 91 pitches, and an ERA of 2.7. One of the good things about his performance is no damage in the first inning, a place where he has struggled as a Dodger last year, had an ERA of 6 in the first inning, but had 2 on, 2 out, and got a strikeout to end it, and no harm, no foul. As for some of the sore spots, I guess, if you will, the sore thumb, Max Muncy, 0 for 4 tonight, 3 Ks, just doesn't look in sync at all, batting 71. Freddie Freeman's average is at 125. Got his first hit of the season, which is a home run to the opposite field. A little surprised by where Freddie is this season. It just feels like he's not quite up to speed, not quite, feeling the energy of the season yet. Everything just seems a tad bit slow, a tad bit off. So hopefully that home run will get him going and get him, feeling the energy of this season, which clearly is at a very high level for the Dodgers right now across the board. It seems like Freddie's just kind of going through the motions a little bit, which I understand. Everyone finds their rhythm at a different time at a different pace. So hopefully that home run will be good for Freddie. Shohei tonight, 1 for 4, batting .375, had a walk and a strikeout. Mookie Betts, of course, the player of the game, 3 for 5, 4 RBI, including 2 home runs. Tommy Edmond, 1 for 4, batting .222. Conforto, his first hit as a Dodger. Pages 0 for 3, and that at bat for Pages in the bottom of the 10th ultimately didn't bother the Dodgers in any way, shape, or form, but it bothered me because all he needed to do, this is where Pages to me is still a young player, a young, inexperienced player. He had runners in scoring position. It would have been nice, at the very least, move the runner to third, move him over, put him in scoring position with fewer than 2 outs. What does he do? Swinging out of his ass, hits the ball to the shortstop. It's like 2 strikes, shorten up, be a better hitter. He's not doing that, and will probably never do it. And maybe at some point he'll figure it out, but it was a perfect example of him just trying to hit home runs, and that's not what they needed. Sure, it would have helped and they would have won the game if he did, but he could have also helped the team by putting the ball in play, moving the runner over to third by hitting the ball to the right side, but wasn't able to do that. So it was one of those things where it just frustrated me, as it usually does with Andy Pages. But in the end, it didn't really matter because Mookie Betts had a night with 2 home runs, including the walk-off 3-run home run, and Tommy Edmond playing some defense there in the 9th inning was huge for the Dodgers. So they get the win, they stay undefeated, and we are about out of time. We've gone over these new, shorter, more concise, zippier shows are gone and over in the blink of an eye. And that is where we are. We've gone our 17 minutes. So again, if you need more and you want more Dodger talk, make sure you check out Jeff and Vince on the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast right here on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate you listening. I am Pete Fox. Be back with you guys again tomorrow after Game 3, Dodgers Tigers, where they look for the sweep. They'll be off on Sunday, which is kind of strange, as Joe and Oral pointed out. You don't see a lot of Sunday off games. So tomorrow wraps up the series. It'll be Roki Sasaki for the boys in blue versus Reese Olson. Again, that one underway at 6 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a good night. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Take care. We'll talk to you.